What's up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's episode of the Not Your Average Mark Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, the Tutorial Boss Guapo, and with me is the man who said, "No, look, Dustin, gold is a good color on you, I promise." The one and only Mike Caldwell. Mike, what's happening, dude?
Oh, man, just been doing the damn thing all day.
I know all about that. It's been a long one, but you know what? This makes it worth it. This is what I've been waiting for all week. Sit down and talk wrestling with people who like to sit down and talk wrestling.
Gotta love it.
Before we get too deep into talking wrestling, though, got to say thank you to a few people. I want to say thank you to Ross and the boys from Labor 12 for our intro, outro music. Track's called Head Rush, album's called Monsters. If you haven't listened to it yet, I don't even know what to tell you anymore. It's been like 4 years.
I mean, gee, it's out there. LaborXII.com.
Labor12.com, LaborXII.com. They have a whole lot of cool stuff going on. Getting ready to release their second album. May have something in the works specifically for the Not Your Average Mark Wrestling Podcast.
Ooh.
Can't say much more than that, but there's some talk.
Oh, leave us in suspense there.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what you got to do, right? I want to say thank you to Joe and American Legacy for the Not Your Average merch. We got all the things. We got the hats. We got the bandanas. We got the skull caps, the beanies, the t-shirts, the keychains. Thanks to J-Rib. Speaking of J-Rib, I want to say thank you to J-Rib's 3D Printing. My boy Cameron hooking it up. See this piece of awesome right here? That is a J-Rib original. My boy Cameron hooked it up for us. If you've got a logo, something you'd like to see done in a light box like that, hit up my boy Cameron, jrebs3dprinting.com. He can get you taken care of. Thank you to Blind Ambition Studios for all our awesome graphics. Thank you to the WrestlingSociety.com for including us in their podcast room. And of course, as always, thank you to the guy, Patrick. Thank you for what you do. You can see the guy's work by checking out our website, www.notyouraverage.mark.com, or you can check out our Discord. You can find the link for that in any of our socials in the About section. We do all sorts of cool stuff on the Discord. We do watch-alongs. We watch-alongs for Raw, SmackDown. We've done one for NXT. We've done one for the Clown Show, just so we could say we did one for the Clown Show, have a little talky talk. Most recently, we did one for SummerSlam, and that was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're watching, if you're listening, you haven't had a chance to join in on that, check out our Discord. You will not regret it. Now, let's talk about some main roster moments, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's jump into some SmackDown. Now, I'm going to give you a little formula here. Starting the show with Finn Balor and Sami Zayn. Good. Having Gunther come in and beat them both down, and then have Aldis come in and throw the beat down on Gunther, great. Like, you can't go home any better than that. And that's what this is. This was the go-home SmackDown for SummerSlam.
Yeah, it definitely gets people excited about what was about to happen.
If I wasn't already excited enough about the fact that we get Nick Aldis in a WWE ring for the first time.
Yes.
This just intensified that, and I loved everything about it. We went from that straight into Mishin and B-Fab going up against Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton. Of course, Jade Cargill out there keeping an eye on her girls, her baddies, as it were. The thing about this, when you have Chelsea Green, Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, all three of those ladies in a match during SummerSlam. So I had to ask, when watching this, why would you put them in a match on SmackDown and risk them getting hurt before a match of that magnitude? As somebody who has done this for a while.
I mean, technically it was a tag match. There wasn't really any super huge high spots. It was storytelling at its finest. It really was. They didn't do a whole bunch of high risk maneuvers to end up getting themselves injured. It just they worked the program to get it to where they needed to be.
And that's exactly what they did. They not only touched on the Chelsea Green, Tiffany Stratton semi-quasi team, we're friends now thing, with matching gear, I might add.
That was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. It also, with Jade out there, of course, when things went crazy, Charlotte comes out. So now you've got yet another member of that match.
Mm-hmm.
So you're pushing for SummerSlam, and you're adding to the Jade Cargill Charlotte Flair fire. So
You know, I was thoroughly impressed with the fact that I believe it was Jade that was in stilettos
yeah,
running around doing spots. Now, that would have been one of my things. Trips, I know you're watching, so
of course he's watching.
you know, when you do have something going on the next night that is a high money situation, a lot of anticipation and everything else, you might want to watch the girl's footwear.
Yes,
Because if she would have rolled an ankle, then we would have been in a predicament.
I wasn't even worried about her rolling an ankle. I was worried about her putting a stiletto through somebody's chest.
Well, that too. That too.
In the end, BFAB Mission, they get the win. Jade attacks Tiffy, throws her into the stairs, allows, I think it was BFAB to get the kick in, get the pin on Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
So, all in all, a good match.
Yeah, it was decent.
Definitely 100% a go home match for SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
We go from that into the War Raiders versus Damian Priest and R-Truth. Always a fan of a title versus title match.
Yeah. I was kind of wondering, you know, are we switching something? What are we going to do? How are we going to get out of this?
Well, we'll talk about that in just a second. One thing I do want to touch on is the War Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
These guys move insanely well for big guys.
Oh, yeah.
R-Truth found that out whenever, there was a running, I guess, dive, like side dive, I don't know, just kind of a splash.
It's kind of a crossbody.
Yeah, crossbody up against the guardrail.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to be R-Truth at that particular moment in time.
No.
We get an ending in this. You're talking about how are we going to get out of this? We get an ending in this that I thought was clever and a good way to get out of this. The ref comes in. War Raiders push the ref away. He lets it go. He's a little aggravated, but he lets it go. He comes back in. Damian Priest pushes him. He calls for the bell. That's it. We're done.
Double disqualification.
Double disqualification. Outcome. Tamatonga and Talatonga.
What are we calling them then?
The Tongans.
Okay.
I don't think we call them the MFTs anymore because they're not with Solo.
Right.
I think I until I hear otherwise, I'm calling them the Tongans.
Okay.
I mean, MFTs works because I always said that stood for Mother Tongans. But I'm calling them the Tongans. But they weren't alone.
No, absolutely not. They had one of the elders with him.
Haku is back.
Mm-hmm.
Holy hell.
And he looked good.
He does. He looks damn good.
For someone who being in their late 70s.
Man,
No.
he was even that old.
No, not late 70s. Too bad we don't have a guy that would be able to look that up.
The guy's probably eating dinner right now, so I'll help him out a little bit. How old is Haku? WWE. 67 years old.
Okay, late 60s. I mean, but still looks amazing for what,
Let's talk about the implications of Haku being back. For one, he's telling his sons to get up and remember who you are.
Mm-hmm.
That's big in and of itself. We're about to see very violent Tongans.
Mm-hmm. Well, Haku has always had the reputation where he'd look at you and say, Mike Tyson, who?
I have heard stories about bar fights.
Mm-hmm.
This is pulling the curtain back. Guys are at the bar. I've heard stories about bar fights that Haku was in.
That is where the Tongan death grip actually came from.
Mm-hmm.
Was a 10-on-1 situation with Haku at a bar.
Yeah. And Haku won. So there's some talk, and then get your thoughts on this. Before I do, J-Reb in the chat, Aaron Marie in the chat. What's up, guys? So glad you're here. Haku being back means there's an elder back.
Yes.
But there's another, I guess now considered an elder or a high chief, as it were, in the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Could we be moving towards one bloodline versus the other bloodline? Survivor Series.
I seriously doubt it. I feel like the Tongans are on their own mission and doing their own thing. But if things come down to it, Haku is an elder of that, which means Roman Reigns has to listen to said elder.
This is true. I know it brings a lot of questions, and I'm excited to see where they go with Haku being back. Ray Phoenix versus JD McDonough. The dragon in the dome.
Lord Farquaad at his finest.
Yes. So this is a great match, great chemistry, especially as quick little piece of trivia for you here. This is the first time they've ever worked each other.
That's cool.
To have the chemistry that they had in the ring, having never worked each other. JD McDonough is so underrated, in my opinion. I talk 9 miles of trash about him and his forehead.
No.
But he sells probably the best in the game. He is a good technical wrestler. You forget that because he jobs a lot with the Judgment Day. So you forget that he is really, really good as a technical wrestler. Like the Irish, he is still the Irish ace.
Mm-hmm.
So this match was nothing to hurt that. Like they worked each other very, very well. And in the end, this was for Phoenix's AAA title.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, Phoenix was able to get the win with Mexican Muscle Buster, a move I thoroughly enjoy watching being done. He gets the win. He retains his title. And this is what I like about the Go Home show. Yes, we're going to have matches that are to move this storyline for the PLE and this storyline, but you also get in the Go Home show matches that have nothing to do with it. They're just damn good matches. This was one of those. We go from that, Julia versus Lash Legend. Now, this match has something tied to it.
Mm-hmm.
The winner of this match is the 5th entrant into the women's world or interim women's world title ladder match in SummerSlam. I thought it was a good match, but it was very, very short.
It was legitimately wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
It was. Lash Legend gets the win in the end, but what I like about this is in the short amount of time they had to run this match, they were able to show the power dynamic between the power of Lash Legend and the speed and agility of Julia.
Mm-hmm.
So,
really and truly, I thought Julia was going to be a shoe-in for this. And
I did too.
I mean, prove me wrong. And, good on her. Lash Legend is an athlete.
Very much so. Then we get to what everybody was waiting for. J-Reb in the chat saying it was super quick. It really was. And before I get to the last thing here, I really can't say enough about how good Lash Legend and Julia are to take that amount of time. It was what? 3 minutes, 4?
I would say right around 2.5.
Okay, 2.5, 3 minutes. They told the entire story. They showed the power versus speed dynamic. That they both had time to shine a little bit in the match. Lash Legend got the win, but it wasn't a squash match, which 9 times out of 10, you get a 2.5 minute match, it's going to be a squash match.
Well, I mean, in WWE, they're kind of a different animal. They're trained to do matches within 3 minutes.
It's fair.
I remember there was a women's championship match with Paige in it that was like 1.5 minutes long.
Whole new aspect of WWE speed.
Mm-hmm.
We get to the last thing of the night. Punk versus Cody. They get in the ring and they talk about destiny. I guess we were always destined to be here, to this point. All of our roads have brought us here. Nothing really new put out there in that,
Mm-hmm.
but we did get our obligatory go home SmackDown, big brawl, pull apart.
Yes, we did. And the deal that I really thought they were going to get political in it
Oh yeah,
because CM Punk was like, "Well, tomorrow this and tomorrow that and tomorrow this," and then Cody was like, "That word tomorrow." I thought they were going to be complaining about the fact that they weren't on Sunday night, but Cody changed it up. He goes, "What are you going to do tonight?" And I was like, "Oh, we going there?"
And Punk straight up laid, pulled his jacket off, laid the belt down, said, hit me. I dare you. Well, he actually said something else, but I try not to use the no words. But it led it straight into a brawl, and we got the big go home pull apart.
Did you notice that there was a big difference in the pull apart that they have and the pull aparts that we've been seeing in other places lately?
There's always been a difference, but what's the difference you're talking about?
I'm talking about the fact that it's not, you know, they were not using wrestling moves at all.
No,
I mean, and they were actually selling while they were swinging.
they were, and that's what makes these two gentlemen in the ring together
Top
top
notch.
tier. Yeah, absolutely, because they understand the importance of the selling. They understand that it's not what happens, not what moves you use, it's what you do between them.
Hmm.
That's why I consider them both wily veterans.
Very wily.
Yes. So that brings us to the end of SmackDown. I dug SmackDown. I'll go ahead and for a go home show with an A minus. I mean, there was a few things that could have been done differently, but I'm good with an A minus.
Yeah, I mean, it did its job.
It did.
It did its job. It made you look forward to SummerSlam.
And look forward to SummerSlam. I did. Of course, as I said, we do the PLE watch alongs on our Discord. Make sure you check that out if you haven't already. And let's talk a little bit about night one of SummerSlam.
Okay.
As a promoter, what is the first rule about starting a show?
You got to set the tone.
Set the tone, start hot.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what they did. Liv Morgan versus Io Sky. And the chemistry that these two have built was on full display during this match. Like 100%. Now, I know you've been doing this a while. But my thing is that damn bullet train against the ring post.
Mm-hmm.
Holy hell. Like, get all props to Liv Morgan. She has the perfect facial cells and all of that
Mm-hmm.
for that, but there's no way that doesn't hurt. There's too sickening a thud.
Well, would you rather have the thud or would you rather have the ding of an actual metal pole?
No. The
The
the boards
the,
there are
the,
good.
the display boards that they have around there are, I mean, compared to a metal pole, there's a little bit of a difference.
I mean, there's a little bit of give there.
And you have the noise factor.
It is a lot louder. These two absolutely killed it, though. I mean, Liv ends up retaining the title. But my thing is this. If I had to pick an MVP in that match, absolutely Io Sky. Not only did she have crazy moves, and of course, I got to see her do the thing, and I like that.
Well, rumor has it she got hurt.
I have heard that rumor as well.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and say, oh well, she did, but that's what I've heard.
Looking over at the chat, J-Rep saying they melted it from the beginning, and that's a good way to put it because that's absolutely true. Aaron Marie saying Dad says hi. But apparently my dad's watching this. What's up, Dad? Teresa saying EO did amazing. She really did. Like she's so impressive. Like she lives up to that moniker of the genius of the sky.
Yeah, but she also is a ball of unpredictable energy.
Yes. And she's also adorable, and I want to put her in my pocket.
And if we could figure out a way to bottle that energy, we'd be rich.
Oh yeah. I said the same thing about my grandson. If I could figure out where he gets all the energy and bottle it up, I could retire.
It's that nap.
It's got to be the nap. I don't know. I take naps and they don't work out like that. Of course, I'm doing it at work, but I mean, never at work.
Never at work.
That takes us into the second match of the night: the Usos and Jacob Fatu versus Royce Keys, Solo Sikoa, and LA Knight.
You know what I mean? All in all, this was a solid match. But you had the bloodline being completely serious about everything. And then you had the other side where you had Solo Sikoa.
I love Solo Sikoa.
The whole situation of, give Jay a shoulder tackle and then look over at the hard cam and go, let's run this back.
That was so good.
The whole freaking SummerSlam crowd started eating right along with Solo.
Oh, I popped.
And Jay was mad son of a bitch about it.
He was mad.
He was like, why are you ribbing me like that?
That's my
my stuff.
That's my thing. Teresa saying EO reminds me of my son when he was 2 and running laps through the house, hitting a door frame and kept going. Yes. Yeah, see, that's my grandson. And I don't know what it is, about 2.5, 3 years old, but it's like they're little homing missiles, and the corner of the coffee table is like their beacon. I'll never understand it. Could run into the padded chair. Oh no, we're not doing that. Could run into the arm of the couch. No, we're not going to do it. No, it's always the corner of the coffee table. Solo had the crowd eating more than Jay did. Yes, he did. And I, for one, love the character change we got from Solo Sikoa. From the start, whenever Jimmy's out there talking stuff and he's behind Jimmy going, me. Yeah. I mean, it's brother stuff. And it's hilarious.
But I think Solo is getting to play himself right now. And I think he is in a happy spot right now.
If you haven't done it, I suggest you go through and look up Uso family videos on YouTube. Solo is the funniest one in the brother bunch. Like, he is forever cracking everybody up. And I agree with you wholeheartedly that he is getting to play himself now. And that's why it comes through so easily, because that's who it's him. He's being him now. And I love everything about it. Now, I will say this. With the bloodline taking things seriously, I've got to say the Gears of War intro thing was kind of cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not a big fan of putting the big things on the stage and all of that. It was a little cheesy in my opinion. But the way they did their clothes to match the red and black, and the best part of all of that was Jacob's mask. Normally he comes out, he's got the mask, he pulls it off, and his whole thing. Left it on all the way to the ring. I dug it. I dig his mask. I think it's awesome. They did a good job of giving everyone a chance to show out in this match. PLEs recently have been really, really good about that, about giving matches time to cook. And kudos to Trips and the creative team and production, everybody that puts that in place, because doing so allows for much better matches, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, it was really on their side all night long. I mean, It's still light outside whenever they're going to the post show.
I will never get used to that, by the way. I love the stadium shows. I love that they can fill the bleachers and all of that, but I'll never get used to the sun being out during entrances.
Well, I mean, really, the first time I saw it was the WrestleMania that Seth had the heist of the century,
Mm-hmm.
where him and Randy, it was like bright.
It was
outside.
like the sun was.
And yeah, so
All right, trips. This one's free. Like you don't have to pay me for this. This one's free. You're gonna do stadiums. Do stadiums that have retractable roofs. Close the roof.
apparently
Just saying.
Apparently the one in Minnesota does.
Well, maybe the last time Minnesota had one that had a roof, it collapsed under snow. Just not saying. I'm just saying.
Well, snow was not something they had to worry about.
No, they didn't.
Which is why they decided not to do a WrestleMania there.
Fair. In the end, we get Royce Keys pulling Jacob Fatu out. They're fighting. You got Jimmy standing on the apron. Solo comes up behind him, right in the neck. The phrase I use quite often, actually. So it's kind of cool that I can say it without saying the other part. Gives him the spike right in the neck.
Mm-hmm.
And LA Knight hits Jay with the BFT. 1, 2, 3. Bloodline lost the match. Solo Sikoa looks with a goofy smile. Looks at LA Knight and goes,
"Give me a hug."
LA Knight's like, fuck off me. But he ends up giving him the hug, and Solo's all excited about it. It was a cool deal. I had fun with that match.
Solo had fun with that match.
Yes, Solo has fun with everything he's doing right now, and that's what I love about it. The next match, though, was the one I have been waiting for since it was announced.
Mm-hmm.
Gunther versus Nick Aldis. Teresa's saying Roman not going to be happy with his boys. We're going to discuss that here shortly because no, he was not. Nick Aldis is no stranger to in-ring competition. NWA champion. I believe he was a TNA champion.
He's a multiple-time TNA champion. He's actually the one that beat AJ Styles on his way out.
There you go. So he is no stranger to being in the ring, but it's been 3 years since he's been in a ring, and never before has he been in a WWE ring as a competitor. Of course, he's been in the ring to announce as a GM, but never before has he wrestled
the tights.
He hadn't donned the tights. He hasn't wrestled in a WWE ring. Now, there's something that comes with that. Nick Aldis had to relinquish his GM duties in order to be put as an active member of the roster to have this match.
Well, you know why that is, right?
Well, you can't be the boss and wrestle.
Well, but okay. For instance, you're a general manager.
I am GM for BCW Texas.
Okay, so other than the fact that you were not a trained wrestler,
I'm not.
So you should not be doing wrestling things.
No, do not wrestle unless you have been gone completely through a training program at a credible school.
Yes, but however, space.
Space.
So you have the job as a GM. You need to be able to fill whatever spot is necessary on the card, minus wrestling. Which means if you got your short referees, you don a shirt. You don't have an announcer. Guess what?
Ring announcer.
You ring announcer. You don't got a timekeeper. You're timekeeper.
Guess what? You don't got gorilla.
You don't got a commentator.
I'm at the commentary.
You're at the commentary table.
No,
you do what needs to be done
short of wrestling.
Yes,
because I won't let somebody that hasn't been properly trained into our ring. That includes myself.
Right. I mean, we have had some sorts of physical altercations.
It wasn't my fault.
No, and you know, you going out there and doing a move with somebody that's going to take care of you to make sure that
Okay, that was a little different. First off, I was taught properly how to do that particular move.
Mhm.
What I needed to do to make that move work right with the person that was doing the move with me.
I'm aware.
So
That's why I gave the thumbs up for it.
I know that you're aware. I just want to put it out there as best I can to anybody that might be listening. Without proper training, you have no business in a ring.
Yes.
Because there are a lot of people that think I could do that. And I encourage anybody that does think that, find a school. If you're in this area, Lubbock Pro Wrestling 101.
Very much so.
But yes, as a GM, I do have to be able to ring announce. I have to be able to referee. I have to be able to commentate. I have to be able to run gorilla. Like, I understand that.
Mhm.
Nick Aldis wasn't doing any of that. He was wrestling. And in order to be on the active roster, he had to relinquish his GM duties, which fell to Adam Pierce.
Right.
I'm glad that he did because this was awesome.
Very much so. I was this. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's track to the IWC real quick.
Okay.
The comparison of Gunther to Nick Aldis. Okay. Gunther has gone through a massive, massive change in his body
Yes.
over the last 3 years that he's been on the active roster.
From Walter to Gunther is a completely different.
Right. He's still a big guy.
Mhm.
But according to this particular post that I saw, he looked like a cancer patient
Ooh,
compared to Nick Aldis.
rough in the streets. Well, it's not very many people that can come out there and make Gunther look small in stature comparatively.
Yeah.
And Nick Aldis, homie is jacked, okay?
Yeah.
Like Nick Aldis is a big old boy. J-Rep saying, I guarantee you I can't do that unless sponsored by ibuprofen and Tylenol. I like it. I like it.
We're gonna go higher grade pharmaceuticals than that.
Yeah, right. It was good for me in this match to see that it wasn't the squash match that a lot of you're talking about the IWC. A lot of them were predicting a squash match.
Mhm.
It's going to be Aldis throws a few moves, Gunther hits the sleeper. It's over. 1, 2, 3. Thank you for playing.
Right. Well,
This wasn't that.
No, it was not at all. And they went out there and they had themselves a great old school wrestling match.
Yes. And the thing I like most about it, this is, I do this more than I should, but hell, there's a whole show about it, so I'm allowed. Pulling the curtain back just a little bit here. I have so much respect for Gunther. Knowing that Aldis hasn't been in the ring in 3 years, knowing the nerves that come with being in a WWE ring for the first time, and being in a WWE ring for the first time at one of the big 4 PLEs. Gunther took care
of 30 plus thousand people.
In front of 30 plus thousand people. Gunther took care of Nick Aldis very well.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there was a certain point, I don't remember what it was, Nick was about to do, and had not Gunther made a move to kind of catch his back a little bit, it would have been ugly. But Gunther took care of him, and kudos to Gunther for that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, that was one of my favorite matches of the weekend.
Oh, absolutely. Now there was a point. I'm not gonna lie. There was a point there at the end. I actually thought Nick Aldis. I went into it thinking Gunther's gonna do this, but they told the story well enough. There was a point at the end where I kind of thought Nick Aldis was gonna take it.
You mean they did their job and suspended your disbelief?
Can I believe it?
Oh no.
In the end, Gunther does get the win with the sleeper. Nick Aldis has to tap out. There's a really, really great moment where Mickey and their son come into the ring. Like it was a very wholesome moment. And I really dug that they didn't cut away from that. They let that happen on camera.
Hmm. And Gunther got his win, didn't gloat. He just
Got out.
got out, hit the road, let Aldous have his moment. So
Again, kudos to Gunther for letting that be what it was, because his character, the character that Gunther is, could have done the same thing he did about John Cena and AJ Styles and Goldberg, and just gloated and jumped up and did the whole thing. He could have done all that, but he didn't. He let this moment happen. He let Nick Aldis have this moment,
right.
which is kudos to him for that. Big kudos. After that, we got Fatal Influence versus the Bellas and Paige. Now, I want to say this. I love the confidence from Fatal Influence while they're making their way to the ring. Like, first off, their music is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Kudos to whoever picked out the music. I'm going to use kudos a lot tonight because there was a lot of good shit that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Their music's really good, but there's an air about them. The presentation of the group. I don't know if that's a Shawn Michaels thing. I don't know if that's a Mickey James thing. I'm not sure who coached them in that when they were in NXT, but their presence as a group is spot on.
Right. Well, they're one of the few that have been working hand in hand with AJ Styles.
Was it AJ that's been working with
AJ has gone on his podcast and said that, that's one of his projects.
Laney Reed of Fatal Influence, the youngest and least experienced member of the team. And everybody in that ring whose name is not Laney Reed made sure she had the opportunity to shine and helped her do so.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Love that.
Yeah, this was not typical WWE. I'm the Rock, so I'm going to go out there and I'm going to steal your thunder.
Exactly.
The girls, the Bellas and Paige, they went out there and they understood the assignment.
They did, in fact, and that's something I love about this particular era of WWE television. So the coordinated gear from the Bellas and Paige. I love the way they explain that. They had the checkers for Brie. They had the chains and studs for Paige, and they had their names on the back of their gear for Nikki. I like little details like that. I think it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
All three Fatal Influence members looked great in the ring for their first real PLE match. Like, don't get me wrong. They were doing side quests in NXT. Like, they had reached their pinnacle in NXT.
Right.
But this is their first real PLE performance. It's big 4 PLE performance. And they handled it like true professionals. Even as young as they are in the main roster, they look like they were supposed to be there.
Yeah. Absolutely. And we could go on and on about, we could be able to nitpick stuff like that, but we shouldn't do that. We should talk about the good things. We should leave enough alone as far as any kind of misses or.
We do have to talk about one in particular. We do, and only for this reason. There was a spot in wrestling. Things happen. I mean, there's no malintent. Things just happen sometimes. And when doing kind of a cannonball into Brie Bella as she sat against the steps, it was off just a little bit. I don't know if JC Jane was off or if Brie was off in the way she was moving. It did injure her. We can find out later. I believe I found out about it Monday that she broke her shoulder blade. So get well soon to Brie Bella. And that's why I bring up this particular thing, is just to say that we here at the podcast wish a very speedy recovery to Brie Bella.
Do you think they ended up with, considering what happened after Fatal Influence won the match? Do you think that people in creative are like, oh crap, we now have that tattoo that says no regrets,
no regrets, no regrets?
Mm-hmm. Because the Bellas turn on Paige after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're back at the point where we're gonna have Nikki and we're not gonna have Brie.
Well, I feel like there's an easy way out of that, though. As Nikki's walking away, she says, "Don't ever try to replace me, bitch." That plants a seed where we can, as Bree is rehabbing and everything, we can put Paige and Nikki against each other.
Mm-hmm.
We can work a thing there. So I feel like it was left in a place that we can still do something. So let's talk about Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk for the undisputed WWE Championship.
What a match.
Dude, this had all the hallmarks of an instant classic. And the reason I say this is this, much like you said about Gunther and Nick Aldis, this was an old school wrestling match mixed with a little new age flair.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody pulls it off better than these two. Like, they went at each other nonstop. Cody kept going after Punk's leg after he injured it. Punk kept going after Cody's shoulder.
Yeah. When is the last time you actually saw somebody work a body part on a main roster?
I'll do you one better. When's the last time you saw somebody get a body part injured and sell it through the whole match? You know who the last person I saw do that was?
Javon Evans.
Penta. Penta, his very first match against Chad Gable, got his knee injured, sold the leg through the rest of the match,
and sold it the next week.
Yes. So love that they did that. Of course, being an old school wrestling match, the ref got bumped, and we get finishers from both of them, but nobody's there to count. But you know who could come in and count the three most dangerous letters in the WWE?
I see what you're doing.
You see what I did there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of like it.
We get a returning Randy Orton walks in, or I shouldn't say walk, slides in out of nowhere on Cody.
Well, CM Punk is out
trying to wake the damn ref up.
No, he was trying to get back up out of off the fact that he just missed that elbow drop off and ran into the table.
All right. One other thing. You know, I love me some CM Punk. If that was not the most god-awful moonsault ever in life,
it was intended that way. It was a homage to Terry Funk.
Well, it worked because that was horrible.
That was exactly how Terry Funk did his moonsault.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay. That makes me feel a little better about it because that's not your usual CM Punk. Well, a moonsault in general is not your usual CM Punk.
CM Punk is not, he's not Dragon Lee. He's not.
No.
He's not Jacob Fatu. He's not Io Sky. He's not someone that does those kind of things. So it was a kind of a nod to the people that he's known and respected in the past.
Good on Punk for this. I was unaware of that. My bad for not doing my homework, but that was something. Bill Donovan says, "Oh, great, he's here. I know you love you some CM Punk. Real hard.
We got a podcast to do.
We do have.
We appreciate the acknowledgement that he's in the chat.
Welcome to the chat, Bill Donovan. Glad you could be here tonight.
Thank you very much.
So Cody gets hit with the RKO. Punk doesn't see it. Gets in the rings. He's able to hit the GTS. 1, 2, 3, and still world champion.
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk.
Did you notice the wink?
Oh, yes. Randy Orton hits it, stands back up, looks around, looks right at the camera and winks. It was awesome.
It was like, haha, did you miss me?
It was so good. He says, "Oh, thank you. You're so." You know what? I try to be a nice guy. I get pushed to not be sometimes, but I do my very best to be a nice guy. You know who is not a nice guy? Brock Lesnar, and he was in a Hell in a Cell with Obafemi for the main event of night one.
Mm-hmm.
We got exactly what we hoped for from this match. Like it was, and then some. Honestly,
okay. let's address a big elephant in the room on one certain situation.
Hi, Bill Donovan.
Stop.
Wrong elephant.
Okay.
I mean that in the nicest way possible.
When have you seen a Hell in a Cell match that didn't have the extra flares? Let's go with some kendo sticks. Let's go with this. Let's go with that. You know, basically they used the ring. They did use the stairs,
Mhm.
but they didn't pull out all the stops. They didn't throw thumbtacks or anything else in there. They used their elements that were around them.
Well, and here's the thing. I've heard we go back to the IWC here. I heard the IWC say some things about the match wasn't long enough and they didn't use the cell enough. Here's my thoughts on this. And you, having done this a while, you tell me your thoughts on my idea on this. My idea on this is you have Obafemi that weighs in at 302 pounds. You have Brock Lesnar that weighs in allegedly at 303 pounds. Do you really think these two big behemoths are going to be able to go for 40 minutes?
No, that I believe that the time was perfect. The timing was perfect on this because it was, you know, for some big bulls that are out there in in the in everything.
We had
I'm aware. Just we had two big bulls that were out there at WrestleMania. They did 6 minutes.
Mhm.
Okay, at Clash in France. Is it France or Italy?
Italy.
Clash in Italy. They did. It was less than 7 to 10 minutes, bell to bell.
Mhm.
This one was about. I want to say it was about anywhere from 10 to 15, which is a good place for two athletes that were this size with this score to settle.
Mhm.
They don't need 30 minutes.
Well, and I think Teresa says it best. Says they didn't need any extra props or longer time. They did what was needed,
Mm-hmm.
and that's absolutely true. Bill Donovan saying it needs to be a natural flow, also where you happen to be at the time, and I can't believe this. I can't believe these words are.
Very good thoughts.
I can't believe these words are fixing to come out of my mouth. But I agree with Bill Donovan in this. It does have to have a flow to it, and I think that this match absolutely did. Now, you take the fact that you have these two Goliaths in here, and you get things like Obafemi starting the match hot, coming in just waylaying. And then you get Brock Lesnar who gets away and gives him not one, not two, but three uh, German suplexes, to which he just pops up. And everybody's like, whoa, including Brock. Is like, wait a minute, hold on. So we get a whole lot of that back and forth. Lesnar hits 3 F5s, still couldn't get the pin on Femi. Now, we got something you don't normally get in a Hell in a Cell match, and I thought it was really cool. Brock Lesnar couldn't figure out what he was doing initially. We just kind of kicking like this at the mat, gouges a little hole in it. I'm like, well, what'd you do that for? And then he rips the canvas, moves the little 1-inch pad that's under there, and now we've got boards, straight up boards. I'm like, oh, he's going to F5 him on the boards. Oh, no, he's not. He's going to put him in a tombstone. I lost my shit. I'm not going to lie. Tombstone pile driver, covers him up, folds his arms, covers him up, does the Undertaker tongue thing and everything, and Oba kicks out. Paul Heyman's face in that cell. I believe Cameron said it right. He sent me a message of the reaction to that and told me that Paul Heyman is the greatest salesman of all time.
But after said frustration and everything else, Obafemi with the fall from grace.
1, 2, 3. Now, two things could happen here. Brock Lesnar could be all kinds of upset or dead. in one way or the other, or what happened could happen. And what that was Brock Lesnar raises Oba's hand, gets out of the ring, comes back, hugs him, and on the mic publicly says, "This is the past. This is the future." Huge moment to get that kind of accolade from somebody like Brock Lesnar, as new as like Obafemi's obviously a star. It's going to go a long way in WWE. But as new as he is, to get that kind of accolade from Brock Lesnar is it's huge. And I don't know that in the moment that Oba got just how huge that was until later in the night, and then you could tell how much that meant to him. So all in all, night one was awesome. Solid A. I loved it. That takes us into SummerSlam night number 2. We have our number 1 contenders match: Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn. Oh, but wait. Nick Aldis, who has about middle of night 1 was reinstated as SmackDown GM, decided, since I'm reinstated, I decided that I'm going to add to this match. Out walks Gunther. Sammy has a fit. And so did I. Because I wanted Finn to win this match so bad. And then Gunther comes out, I'm like, well, now Gunther's going to win it so they can do the thing. They're getting ready. They're squaring up. And he's like, whoa. So I was adding. I didn't say how many. And the music hits. The whole place, including this room, goes absolutely apeshit because Kevin Owens is back.
And the place where I was too.
And the place where you were too, yes. Everybody goes nuts. The pop was so intense. Like just hearing that, I lost it. Absolute
Sammy's
surprise.
Face.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy's face told the whole story.
It really did. Not only at the entrance, but into the beginning of the match. He's in the corner just stunned.
Mm-hmm.
Stunned. Yeah. But yeah, just stunned that Kevin Owens is back. His longtime frenemy. From back in the days when it was El Generico and Kevin Steen, all the way back to that, here he is in this match now. Look, everyone got a chance to shine, but I would be lying if I said anyone had a chance to shine brighter than KO. This was his match. And I do want to say this about Sammy, though. Sammy is a workhorse for the WWE, and I don't think he gets enough credit for it.
I don't say.
I really don't think he gets enough credit for the workhorse that he is. So, in the end, KO drops everybody with a stunner, gets the pin on Sammy, and is the number 1 contender for Punk's title. Huge surprise. Not on my bingo card. Up in flames.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, WWE's really good at saying, "Oh, look, is that a bingo card? Let me set fire to it."
Let me look over here at the chat. Bill Donovan, this may upset some folks out there, but I agree with Nathan Briggs on this. Cut the noise in the back room, work on the move set list, and stick with it with a little give. Only talk should be what group to be working or to keep focus on and special move or something, but then call everything else in the ring. Use the managers as necessary to feed that disdain. You know what? I mean, I am a fan of calling in the ring. I think it going back to what Bill said about natural flow. I think calling in the ring gives a better natural flow. So once again, I believe I'm saying it, but I agree with Bill on that. And you see a lot of that in the WWE as well as in the independents. United States Championship got Trick Willie and Baron Corbin. Now, here's the deal with this match. The commentators did a very good job reminding everyone this is not the same Baron Corbin of old. This is a Baron Corbin that has gone to Brazil, started doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and has won gold medals. So I thought that keeping that going was good for his character.
Mm-hmm.
And putting little Yachty through a table, great for his character. I love it anytime Yachty gets dropped.
Johnny was pretty much the heat guy.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
He got more heat than Trick did.
He did.
And then Trick, Corbin has the belt.
Mhm.
Corbin sees that the referee's coming, so Corbin puts the belt back down. Yachty's up there. Referee's trying to get Yachty down. Trick comes up, hits Corbin, and Corbin just elbows Yachty.
Whoopsie.
Yachty goes. He didn't go through the table.
He went through the Slim Jim table.
No, he hit it. The table broke, and he fell off the over on the other side of it.
Okay, that's fair. I'll give you that.
He's not a wrestler.
He's not.
So it did well for his character to not be able to try to land safely.
Well, one thing they really did well in this, in my opinion, is showcasing the patience factor for Baron Corbin. That, like you're talking about, seeing the ref, putting the belt down, being patient, waiting for that moment, because that's how Corbin got the win. Is a belt shot to Trick Williams, throws the belt out, hits End of Days, 1, 2, 3, wins his first WWE title since 2017. A long time, that's 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
Almost a decade, first title win. And so now we have a new United States champion. That brings us to the interim WWE Women's Title ladder match. I just want to say that the ladder bumps, I'm not talking about the getting knocked off the ladders. I'm talking about getting picked up and choke slammed onto these ladies. I don't know how they do it. Because damn.
Yes, very much so. And this right here was, I think it was the feel-good moment of the night.
Oh, absolutely. It was my happiest moment of the night. Well, second happiest moment of the night.
But, you know, everybody in there did a really good job at keeping everything together. They knew their spots. They knew what they were doing. They knew who was doing what to people. They knew what positions they needed to be in so that everything could occur correctly. And kudos on these women they went out there and they pulled out all the stops.
Well, and it's hard enough for 2 women to do that. There were 5 of them making that well-oiled machine work.
Mm-hmm.
And so absolutely kudos to them. Now I am going to need to see a payoff on that Jade Cargill Lash Legend stare down, because that's going to be epic. Like, don't get me wrong, I still want to see Jade and Charlotte, but that stare down that her and Lash Legend had, that could be big.
Mm-hmm.
Like real big. Chelsea Green. Let's talk about Chelsea Green. Getting on the ladder, I don't remember if it was Lash or Jade. I think it was Jade that got her. She's laid out, legs still hooked in the ladder, just dead.
It was the baddies.
Oh, it was the baddies. That's right. The baddies came in and did it. She's laid out, hanging on the ladder, just done. The way Chelsea Green can work with her face, like like she's coming back to life. Like you could hear the whole, like you could see the whole story in her face. And she sits back up and climbs, gets to the belt, and again, you can read everything on her face. Gets the win. Funny note, in the post show, dedicates the win to Michael P.S. Hayes, who in the Unreal series said she's not a top person. So thought that was hilarious. The only thing funnier than her doing that was Corey Graves' reaction to it. So,
I mean, not wrong.
I mean, very much. The Right Women was the victor that night. Congratulations, Chelsea Green. You deserve it.
And with her husband, who is an active WWE superstar, in the front row, filming with his cell phone.
Now, Let me ask you a question. Her husband, Matt Cardona,
Mm-hmm.
formerly known as Zack Ryder, what kind of match did he win his title in?
Ladder match.
Yeah, so that's kind of a cool deal that they both got this big victory on a
And-
ladder match.
You know, that was one of the things that occurred to me whenever I was making my picks. Was wouldn't it be cool to have the two comparison the the video footage of the comparison on the whole thing?
Hmm.
And there was a lot of similarities.
There was a whole lot of, and I love that for them. I think that's awesome. Now, we're going to talk about a very important match. One that I know that the whole reason the guy joined on night 2 was for this match because despite what the title says, he is a closet Fanhausen. And that's a human money's on a pole match. I haven't seen an on a pole match since Buff Bagwell's mom on a pole.
Judy Bagwell.
Judy Bagwell on a pole. This match had it all. You had human monies. The human monies were on a pole. You had mini Housens. You had JD McDonough doing the one and only time ever in his life he's going to do a choke slam because he did it to one of the mini Housens. You had Torito Housen. And you had Joe Hendry.
So, found out a fun fact. Can't think of his last name, but he's the comedian.
Oh, Brad Williams.
Yes, Brad Williams was one of the mini.
Brad
Housens.
Williams was one of the mini Housens. That's correct.
He was the one that was trying to adjust his weave while he was
Well,
out there.
And I saw I believe it was a TikTok. It's either TikTok or a YouTube short where he was like, I want to be, if you're WWE, if you're listening, I want to be a mini Housen. I don't care. You don't have to pay me. I don't care what it is. I just want to be a mini Housen. And he was, and that's awesome. All joking aside about everything that's out there, this match was fun for what it was. And it gave, as somebody who is on the other side of the screen some of the times, it gave the crowd a chance to calm down a little bit, to kind of take a breath after the ladder match and before the next match, which was going to be a huge high for them because their next match, Danhausen won that match, by the way. He got to keep all the human monies and pass it out to people.
Yes.
The next match was Penta versus
Gable.
Chad Gable for the Intercontinental Championship. This was going to be a good match the minute it was announced. No way it wasn't going to be. These are two of the best workers in the business right now. Chad Gable, heavy crowd favorite, seeing as this is his hometown. Not only hometown as in he grew up there, but he lives there now. So easily the crowd favorite.
Mm-hmm.
This particular match, I love the way they showed up and showed out for it because you got this mix from both of them of lucha and technical, and like you get even Chad doing the high flying stuff, and you get Penta coming around and doing the technical. Like they dance that out so well, and
they have an amazing chemistry.
They do. They have maybe some of the best chemistry out there. And in the end, a bloodied Chad Gable gets the ankle lock in and wins the match in his hometown, in front of his family, in front of his friends. We have another moment where the family comes in. Couldn't help but notice that Gable's kid had a singlet just like his. Thought that was pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But he got the opportunity to say, my name is Chad Gable, and this is my family, the people that have been by my side, so that I could stand here right now and say, I am your Intercontinental Champion. First singles title ever. How long have we been watching Chad Gable?
12 years.
First singles title ever. So congrats to him. I'm so happy for him. That brings us to the main event, the World Heavyweight Championship, Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. This is all we hoped it would be and more. one thing I loved about this match. First rattle out of the boxes. Outside of the promos and the talking segments, they in the midst of the match, they still made it feel personal. Like they kept the feel of how personal this match was to both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't see that a lot. Like you see it a lot in promos, you see it a lot in talking segments, but you don't see it as much in the matches. And I like that they were able to do that.
Well, Roman is probably one of the best storytellers in the business today.
Agreed.
And, yes, Seth Rollins was absolutely right, saying for his bell to bell is completely different than Roman Reigns' bell to bell.
Yes.
Roman Reigns goes out there and he tells a story and he gets the crowd invested in what story he's telling.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rollins knows how is out there to do bell to bell action. And it was nice to be able to see the intermingling of both put on the way they put it on. And the chair.
So,
The story-
so significant, the chair.
The story of this chair that was teased throughout the entire match.
Mm-hmm.
That was gold.
It really was.
It was gold, and it is something that's a lost art that nobody seems to have anymore. Is, they feel like if you pick up a weapon, you need to be using it within 45 seconds of you grabbing a hold of it.
But that wasn't the story for the chair. And they did this so well because, of course, initially the chair was Seth Rollins stabbing Roman Reigns in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And then doing it again whenever he was, or well, no, he didn't do it again, but whenever Cody was finishing the story, Seth turned around, made Roman take his eye off the ball because Roman hit Seth with the chair.
Because Roman had his feelings hurt over that over the backstabbing of the Shield.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why that is his weakest point. That was his chink in the armor. And Seth knew that. And for Roman to get over that point and toss the chair out of the ring and say, I don't need this.
That was the biggest, well, it wasn't the biggest moment, but one of the biggest moments of the night. And it wasn't physical at all. It was the realization that, no, we're not going to do that. And I love that we got all the bumps that we got. We got the spear from Rollins. We got a stomp from Roman, all the different pins and finisher trade-offs at the end of the match. But the thing that really got me was Rollins doing the Ambrose bounce off the ropes clothesline.
Wacky line.
Yeah, and even doing the facial thing after. And then
Roman doing the dirty deed.
Roman hitting the dirty deeds. Both of which a nod to
Dean
their
Ambrose.
partner, Dean Ambrose.
You don't say that other name.
No. Now, after Roman gets the win, he extends his hand like this to Seth. Seth gets up, grabs the mask, puts it down in between them. Mask representing, of course, Dean Ambrose. And then puts his hand next to Roman's. And there is no more beautiful way to wrap up an era than the way they did that in the ring.
Okay, I disagree.
Well, you're allowed to be wrong every now and then.
I don't think that the mask had a representation of Dean Ambrose. I think that the mask laid at their feet was the retirement of that saga.
It is. Absolutely it is.
So I don't think it really had much to do with Dean. I just think they gave kudos to where they came from with what they had.
Well, I agree with Teresa. That match, the story, the chair, chef's kiss.
Well, they've told a 10+ year story
14.
over that chair.
14-year story.
Over that chair was a supporting cast member in this whole thing.
Now,
All these years.
as beautiful as that was, as beautiful as this moment was, John Moxley, of course, has been asked about it. And I say John Moxley because I'm referring to John Moxley, not Dean Ambrose. With all the talk about this match, John Moxley was asked, or, way before SummerSlam, with all the talk about this match, are you coming back? And he said, and I'm quoted, I would rather flip burgers at McDonald's than work for WWE again. In what might be the coldest picture I've ever seen in my life. After this beautiful moment to wrap up this saga, Roman Reigns goes to the back and eats McDonald's. Coldest thing I've ever seen.
Ah, I love it.
That was so
I
good.
did not know that.
Yeah. There's a picture of him with a McDonald's bag and a burger. Cold as ice.
McDonald's.
No, I'd rather
WWE.
Wow. I'm gonna tell you right now, I enjoyed all of SummerSlam. Night 2 S+ tier for me.
Yes.
And I will say that this has been the best PLE of 2026, maybe even longer.
I would go more. I would actually say I'd say this topped WrestleMania 40.
I'll give you that. Bill Donovan in the chat saying, y'all have a good one. See you at BCW Live in Levelland. I'm headed to Mississippi from Iowa now. All right, man, be careful. Safe travels to you. We'll see you at BCW. We got J-Rab saying both nights are S tier for him, S+. So let's get into some Monday Night Raw because I know we're getting to the point where we got to start winding down a little bit. Raw started kind of like we thought it would. Tribal Chief comes out, does some talking. And I like the fact that he says, I can only acknowledge so much as your tribal chief, but I don't mind if y'all do. So he let the crowd acknowledge Seth Rollins. And I thought that was kind of cool.
LA Knight.
Yeah. He comes out, absolutely smoked Roman Reigns on the mic. Like, I mean, smoked him. And I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. I like that Knight threw it out there that he's earned his title shot time and time again. So much so that the last time that Roman and LA Knight got in the ring, he had to get the bloodline to take care of it. Everybody's like, ooh. Segment did two things for me. Number one, it puts LA Knight back in the main event scene where he needs to be. And number two, and maybe a little more important, it shows me what kind of champion and what kind of worker Roman Reigns is. And by that, what I mean is he could be the champion. Like you were talking earlier, I'm the Rock and I'm taking all the spotlight. But he pulled back and let LA Knight be the one that shines in this. He didn't have to. He's a tribal chief, he can throw stuff out there. They give him kind of free reign in that, but he stepped back and let that happen. He let LA Knight shine in that segment. So he gave Knight a lot there. And kudos to him for that, because that is the hallmark of a true worker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, just like the person that gave Roman his props, which is Brock Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
He is a staple in the industry. He is and forever will be known as one of the top guys.
Yes.
Period. But when it's time to do business, he's there to do business.
That's right.
But the other thing that I learned from this promo segment was watch culture.
What?
Watch culture.
Watch culture.
You don't get into the ring with Roman Reigns wearing a Walmart watch.
Okay. I say LA Knight smoked him. That was a good one from Roman. I give him that one.
Okay. Roman Reigns had a $400,000 watch on his wrist.
LA Knight's cost $458.
Yeah.
Not exactly a Walmart watch, but
no,
in comparison,
yeah.
I mean, Javon Evans versus Ethan Page. Loved this match. Javon Evans so over right now. I've said it 100 times. I am more and more becoming an Ethan Page fan because I love the way he sells. And when you get him in a ring with somebody that sells equally, you get both of them elevating each other, and I love that.
Well, those two killed it in NXT, and they're bringing it up to the main roster, and
Mhm.
they're going to continue this on. I will say this, you know, as well as everything did with Ethan Page and Javon Evans, it kind of got overshadowed by the fact that Cass came back at the end of
By
this.
somebody that casts a very large shadow, the one and only Big Cass.
You know, you can't teach that kind of
No,
shadow.
you can't teach that. Um, Big Cass. Everybody was expecting Enzo Amore to come back. This is me personally. If I've got the pencil in WWE, I bring Big Cass back. I let him stack bodies, as he said in his interview with Kathy Kelly. Let him stack the bodies for a little while, and I put him into just until Logan Paul is cleared. And then I put him into something with Logan Paul and Austin Theory, and then they get together and they jump him. He's in the ring. He's ready to take both of them on. And from the back, no music, just a mic. From the back, you hear, well, what do we have here? A couple of haters. And boom, hit the music. Here comes Enzo. Maybe 6 months down the road. I know I've been doing this very long, but
I mean, I get it, but I mean, with the WWE, anything's possible.
yes,
Because there is that fine line of gray area where you don't necessarily know which direction somebody's going. But with how Cass is acting right now and how Logan Paul and the Vision are acting right now, they are clear cut heels.
yes.
So
I
I see a recruiting, and maybe the recruiting goes wrong, and that's where it ends up happening.
now, granted, I'm going to talk about some independent wrestling here, but I see Cass as more of a Ring Bully Rimson type character. I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm just here to beat people. That's kind of where I see them going with Cass. That way that he's flexible. Whatever creative decides, they can move him as a heel, they can move him as a face, they can swim back and forth between them. That's what I see them doing with Big Cass.
Unless you have the Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, CM Punk style star power, being in between and getting to go where you need to go doesn't necessarily work very well for somebody that's an undercard guy.
That's fair. So, talk about Liv Morgan's victory speech. This was a good segment for a couple of reasons. Liv got to brag on her Judgment Day teammates because, Raquel Rodriguez, new women's Intercontinental Champion. Roxanne Perez, you'll get a belt sometime. That's going to come back and bite Liv in the ass one of these days. You hide and watch.
Oh, Roxanne's so getting the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Oh, I hope so too. That's where I want to see that go. But most of all, she set the seed for the idea that in her head, no one wants to challenge her. There's no women in the back ready to step up. That's why she went 100 days without defending her title, because nobody wants to step up. So this leads into Sol Ruca comes out. It leads into the next match. Sol Ruca, Roxanne Perez. I like the way they work together. And I like the fact that they're showing that Sol Ruca, much like Io Sky, is this close to being able to battle away the numbers game. It wasn't the case in this match. Sol had it, in my opinion, and Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan get in and cause the disqualification. They start the after match beatdown.
And the man comes back around.
The man comes around to Iowa. And it was different. Like, she came out to a pop. Granted, she and Seth live in Davenport.
Right.
But she was different. It wasn't I'm not the only one. It wasn't that almost frantic Becky Lynch. It was came to let you know something, sweet cheeks. I love that she said that. That was so funny. I'm coming for your belt. Because I'm going to tell you something. You are the worst women's champion of all time. The way she
And,
did, I laughed.
and she sat there and she looked at it and she goes, and I'm not the only one that just says that. And I was like, oh, she just turned it around. I love
She
it.
says everyone says that, which was great. But it was after that that got me. She says, "You're not even the best women's champion in your own group. You're not even the best women's champion that slept with Dominic Mysterio." Crowd lost their minds. Becky face just like that.
Yeah.
Well, Liv took exception to that, as did her Judgment Day sisters, and they start backing away, blah, 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 talking stuff. And out walks a returning La Primera. Stephanie Vaquer making her way back, beating the hell out of Liv Morgan. And what we get out of that is not only that she beat the hell out of Liv Morgan, but we got a face-off, a face-to-face between Becky and Stephanie Vaquer.
And it was a stay out of my way. Or what?
That women's title picture just got really interesting. Because just take those four. Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, Stephanie Vaquer, Sol Ruca. Just take those four.
I'm going to add one.
Okay.
Somebody should be over their maternity leave.
Dude. Naomi's going to be back soon.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else had their baby recently also that's a few months from coming back.
Bianca
Belair. I thought this segment was probably my favorite segment of the night.
You're right, Teresa. Becky watching from the corner was absolutely freaking hilarious.
She sat back there like she was waiting for her lemonade.
No, she straight up bought a ticket.
The lemonade thing?
Yeah.
She was waiting for her lemonade. No, it was so good. Like, I loved it. Our next segment, Obafemi comes out to the ring, addressed his win at Hell in a Cell. I like the fact that he threw out there, this is the changing of the guard. This is the changing of the old guard to the new. Because if you notice, every one of these matches that happened on Raw involves a newer talent.
Mm-hmm.
Says that if anybody's got a problem with it, if anybody gets in the way, they're going to answer to the ruler. He gets out of the ring, starts to the back, Braun Breaker's music hits, and we get that stare down.
That was intense.
So intense, in fact, that we went commercial. And when we come back, there's Joe Hendry's already in the ring because he's got a match with Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker's not paying any attention to Joe Hendry, not paying any attention to the referee. He's got his eyes staring at the entranceway. And when he does turn around, levels Joe Hendry. Now, Joe does get some offense in, he ends up throwing, no, he doesn't throw him. He jumps over a spear attempt, and Braun Breaker goes into the steps. Ends up back in the ring while Joe Hendry's throwing Austin Theory over the announce table. In the end, though, Breaker hits the spear. 1, 2, 3, it's over. Braun Breaker doesn't stay there and get ready for it. Immediately out of the ring and to the back. He wants him some Obafemi.
So, I had the pencil.
Mm-hmm.
That match would have been all of about 15 seconds.
I kind of felt the same way. I think I know where you're going with this.
He was staring a hole in the freaking entranceway. The bell rings, and he just turns around and spears the shit out of Joe. 1, 2, 3, rolls out, goes to the back. No fanfare.
Yeah.
That's the way I would have done it.
Teresa's saying Braun has a death wish, but that match was stupid fast. I'd say what I said Monday, but it's not. I don't even know if that's PG. You know what? You have my permission, Teresa. You say whatever you want to. I won't.
Careful.
I'm not even going to.
Careful what you wish for.
I'm not even going to tell our truth. Chad Gable comes out, huge pop. Your new Intercontinental Champion. He thanked the fans he thanked Penta. who made his way out to the ring and told him straight up, "You deserve this. You are a great luchador." Which Dominic Mysterio, El Rey de Luchadores, had a problem with. Said, "You don't deserve to even be called a luchador." Mike knows what I said.
And I'm not saying.
This builds into a match. Chad Gable and Penta versus Judgment Day. Dominic Mysterio, JD McDonough. It went well, and how could it not? You've got three of the best wrestlers in the undercard and perhaps the best heel, all in the same match. JD McDonough, as I said earlier, maybe the greatest seller in the business right now. He took a Mexican destroyer on the floor, and sold the hell out of it.
He's dead.
Dead. I like that the refs aren't letting Dom get away with the cheating anymore. Dominic Mysterio, if you're watching this, and
Of course he is. Why wouldn't he be?
you may look like Eddie, but you ain't got it like Eddie, homie. Sorry. You can't cheat like that. However, in what is somewhat of a heelish thing, as the referee is getting on to Dom about having the bell mallet in his boot, Penta takes and hits McDonough. Or it was Dom, wasn't it? He hits Dom with the belt. And they get the win. Yeah, Penta nails Dom with the belt while the ref's distracted. Gable hits the Chaos Theory. 1, 2, 3. All done. Thank you for playing. That took us to our main event, street fight. Royce Keys, Jacob Fatu set up earlier in the night whenever Roman said,
He ain't family.
"Is he your family? He ain't my family. Is he related to you? No? That's not your family.
He's one of the boys.
He's one of the boys. This is it right here." So Royce Keys goes to Jacob Fatu and says, "Hey man, we boys, and Jacob Fatu says, "You ain't my brother. You ain't my family. You're just one of the boys." He's like, "Well, let's do something about it then." Like, street fight. So they have a street fight. It was brutal. Okay, this was one of those I'm gonna beat the hell out of you and you're gonna beat the hell out of me matches. They threw chairs in the ring like it was a Terry Funk match in ECW. Between the kendo sticks, the chairs, and just the fight, I don't know how either one of them are moving right now because it was that kind of match. The end of the match saw Fatu hit DDT on the chairs. Royce do a power slam from the ropes on the chairs. And then finally, Fatu hits the moonsault, and then the moonsault doesn't even get it done. He hits a jumping Tongan death grip. Looked like he went from werewolf to frog. Like, you see it now, don't you?
I do. And I can't unsee it. This is not fair.
I like that they're giving Jacob back the reins. You said it with the reins.
Mm-hmm.
To be brutal again. Because when he came in, that's what he was. You didn't mess with Jacob. He was unhinged. And they're allowing him to get back to being unhinged. And I like that. After raising the ones, nodding to Fatu, Roman heads backstage where he's met by Rey Mysterio with a proposition for him. And that's how we went off the air. Raw was good, and it had a fresh feel to it, in my opinion. I'll give it an A, solid A.
I'm gonna hold on to that moment because I think it's a really good transition into in the news segment we got.
We do have a news segment that we're going to quickly go through because I know we're already over time, but we're going to talk about what's in the news as far as wrestling right now.
Okay. While we still have that that transition there, WWE has announced that they are doing a tournament.
Lucha tournament.
It is a lucha tournament with AAA guys and WWE main roster guys.
Raw, luchadors from Raw, luchadors from SmackDown, luchadors from AAA.
To see who's going to face Roman Reigns in Mexico whenever Raw is there.
Yep. Whenever they go show them how it's done.
Yeah.
I only say that because the clown show was in Mexico City last night.
And that was a house of 1,000 high spots.
Yeah, that's all it was spot.
And about 2 minutes of MJ off top.
Yes. So number first thing, that
Okay.
was the preliminary, that was the warm-up. Number first thing, rest in peace to Dory Funk Jr.
Very, very much so.
Of course, part of the Funk family that shaped what West Texas independent wrestling is, brother to Terry Funk. The accolades that he's got go on for days. He was in WrestleMania 2. He's been in WCW. He's been in ECW, NWA Florida, Georgia, Mid-Atlantic, Missouri.
WWE.
Yeah, world champion in all of those NWA places, by the way. WWE Hall of Fame. NWA International Heavyweight Champion twice. And, of course, numerous championships in Japan. He passed away earlier this week. And our condolences to the Funk family, and wrestling has truly lost one of its legends.
Yes. He was one of the pioneers for West Texas wrestling.
The Funk family in general was.
So we would not have what we have in this area if it wasn't for the Funks.
Agreed.
So, as me personally knowing Terry and having interactions with him, Dory being the younger brother, or actually no,
Dory was older.
Dory was the older brother. Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. But he managed to stay around longer than Terry did.
He did,
and lived a hell of a lot.
He will be sorely missed, not only in the wrestling world, but in West Texas. So again, our condolences from our podcast to the Funk family. Next thing, Rhea Ripley confirming her knee surgery. I know I've been talking about it for a while on here. They have done all the rehab they can do on her knee. They got it to about 70%. Can't get it to do anything else without surgery. So Rhea posted on her Instagram saying, "Life update. After just under 14 years in wrestling and doing sports my entire life, it's caught up to me. Surgery was never a first option for me, but it got to the point that it was needed. First one down, hopefully no more. I survived it. Now it's time to start thriving again so I can get back to what I love to do. See you all down the road." So the knee surgery confirmed by Rhea Ripley. I hate to hear it. We wish her the best and a speedy recovery, because WWE needs mommy back.
Well, Chelsea Green will try to do her best to keep everything warm until she gets back.
That's right. And last thing, after a crazy match with Obafemi, Brock Lesnar is officially retired. He went on the Pat McAfee show, thanked opponents that he's had, everybody that stood behind him through everything. A special thank you to The Undertaker. I mean, it's kind of surreal.
It was. All I can say is Brock Lesnar is going to do what Brock Lesnar does. And now that he has this in his rearview mirror, he can go back home to Saskatchewan and he can go hunt to his heart's content.
Sure can.
And have those gigantic tomahawk steaks that he likes to eat and live life. Enjoy his kids. His daughter is doing NCAA stuff right now, and it's, he's getting to be proud dad.
I'm going to throw one other honorable mention out there as far as news. I have to do some more. It's honorable mention because I have to do some more research into it to get all the information. We all know Rick Steiner's kid is in the WWE. Braun Breaker, doing great. Scott Steiner's kid, playing for USC. No, 49ers.
He's in the NFL.
That's right. He's for the Niners now. Suspended for the first 6 games. The NFL put that down today that he has a 6-game suspension.
What did he do?
Scott Steiner's kid. He tried to do this. He tried to do
He tried to do math. Golly. Okay.
But no, I'm not sure why he got the 6-month or 6-game suspension, but he did. Like the NFL put that out today. That is everything we've got for you tonight. I want to thank everybody for being here, everybody for watching. Mike Caldwell, for everybody that's listening, everybody that's in the chat, everybody that's watching the wrestling world in general. My friend, the floor is yours for your final thoughts.
All I'm going to say is I really appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody watching.
Mhm.
I appreciate you for giving me this platform. You know,
My
I
pleasure.
really appreciate, you know, coming over here and getting to do this with you every week.
It's a lot of fun.
Big things coming for BCW.
Mhm.
So looking forward to that. So tell your friends, September 12th, BCW is back.
We're going to make it big. So, first responder appreciation show.
Yes, it is.
We get a chance to honor our first responders at this show, and I'm way excited about that.
Oh, same.
As far as final thoughts for me, just thank you to all of you for this platform, for being here, for being a part of this. I appreciate you guys. Love you to death for allowing me this therapy. Thank you to Patrick. The guy makes all of this work, and I appreciate you and everything you do for this. Mike, I appreciate you coming out here, making the drive, talking wrestling with me. You guys make this what it is. So I want to say thank you to everybody. Make sure you're checking out independent wrestling. If you're in the area, BCW, Squared Circle Pro, Lubbock Pro Wrestling 101. If you're not, I guarantee you within 50 miles of you, there is an independent wrestling promotion that you should go check out.
Oh, yeah. 101 actually is having a show Saturday.
Saturday, absolutely.
2 Saturdays in a row.
Oh, he's a Saint, not a Niner. Okay, yeah. Steiner's kid is a Saint, not a Niner, but still suspended for 6 games. But no, I want to thank everybody for this. That's going to do it for us tonight. Until tomorrow night when we do the SmackDown watch along, I'm Guapo.
I'm Mike Caldwell.
We're not your average marks. See y'all next time.
Yeah.